Ziggy Aja here for the Zigster Boxing. Always a pleasure to be with Kalle Sauerland. Kalle, how are you, sir?
I'm good, Ziggy. How are you, mate?
I'm very good. Good to be back with you again. Obviously, another big card. We were here for Chisora Wilder last time, but now obviously the undercard doesn't feel like an undercard almost. Viddal Riley, Masternak for the EBU stack.
Like a double header, doesn't it? It feels like a double header. Then you forget that there's a little fight at the top of it called Chisora versus Wilder. So it's going to be a cracking night of boxing. Super excited for that. What more can I say? European title, world title, British banger at heavyweight, and little birdie just told me that Harlem Eubank might be on the card as well. So yeah, all the Easter eggs at once, eh?
Yeah. Absolutely. As a Brightonian, Harlem Eubank obviously flying the flag for us.
You're from Brighton.
Yeah. Talk to me about his return.
We'll be back in Brighton shortly. Yeah. Probably in. We're looking at June. Be nice to go there when there's a bit of sun. Yeah. Eubank back in June. We'll see. We fancy putting them on this card and then a bigger one in June.
Absolutely. For the undercard, obviously Viddal Riley, we were here in December for his announcement. What do you expect from Viddal? First time obviously under the MF Pro banner, up against Masternak, been around a long time, EBU. Do you expect a big performance from Viddal?
I expect fireworks from Viddal. He wants this fight. He was fine with taking the Alloys fight, but it didn't really tickle him. We said, no, we don't want to drop the belt like we signed you and we dropped the belt straight. We said, no, fair play. Yeah, that looks a bit, it's a bit shady. We signed him and then dropped the belt straight away. So he didn't want to duck out of that. Alloys did. He's off. I don't know. He dropped out of that fight for some super fight. I'm still waiting to hear what that super fight is 3 months later. But fair enough, because we were going to bid quite a lot of money for that fight. It's a good fight. But here we are. The boxing gods have made their call, and we shall be fighting for the European title in a time when the cruiserweights are super excited because you've got Oppenheimer giving up the belts. It's all going off. Yeah, it's very exciting.
I want to pick up on something that you've been saying in a narrative for Chisora Wilder. Wilder being the hardest punching heavyweight of all time. Now, not being funny, I wouldn't like to take a shot off Deontay Wilder myself, but when you put pound for pound, put him up against, George Foreman, Ernie Shavers, the likes of them guys, in your boxing opinion, do you think Wilder is the hardest puncher of all time?
I've never seen the other ones live, so I couldn't tell you. For me, Foreman is right up there. I never saw him live. My old man promoted him. I've never promoted him. I never promoted Mike Tyson either. So I'd say, it's much of a matchless, isn't it? I tell you, pound for pound's the biggest punching fighter I've ever promoted. That's Inouye. Pound for pound. Pound for pound. I've never seen anyone hit like a man like that. That was something else. That was something else, the way that guy punches. But at heavyweight, you've got to look. He's the longest serving WBC champion of all time. He's done that. I'm being a bit hard here, but not on boxing skill. He's done that on a right hand, yeah? So, did Foreman do everything with power? No. So, I'd say that Wilder has relied on power, and he's got, where's he got? He's like, longest. So, from that point of view, I'll go with what the Ring magazine have said. That's not Kalle Sauerland trying to promote the fight quote, right? It is. I'm just quoting that out the Ring magazine.
I want to get your thoughts on a couple left field ones. John Fury and Carl Froch. Obviously, I was there for that Monday. It was a tasty one, I guess, just as a fan's perspective, sort of sitting down the pub. When you see John Fury go for Carl Froch like that, what do you make of all of that?
It's entertaining, isn't it? Come on. I haven't watched all the Ben interviews on Conor Benn's situation with Matchroom and Zuffer. I find that interesting for about 5 minutes, but I must admit I have watched every single John Fury piece, every single Joe Egan piece, and every single Carl Froch piece, because it's entertainment, right? That's proper. I'd rather watch that than Netflix, right? My favourite show on Netflix or whatever it is at the moment. Forget that. John Fury and Carl Froch, especially I know them quite well. And then, you know, that just cracked me up. Yeah, just cracked me up. Would I like to see him fight? I don't know. I'd be sort of, I don't know. I've got mixed emotions about that.
Maybe Joe Egan?
Would I put that on Misfits? Come on. Do I like business? Absolutely.
Absolutely, love a pound note. You can't turn it down. No, I won't. Obviously, another few people who like a pound note, and 10 years later from their first fight, Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. As a boxing fan, seeing them.
You can't say he doesn't like a pound note because his nickname is Money, isn't it? Money Mayweather. Yeah, short answer, not interested.
I mean, it's a fight that will capture people's attention, but it's not quite obviously what it.
Will it will, yeah, because it's on Netflix. But will it? It won't do. It won't like be anything like. You know, you can't compare it to like AJ, Jake Paul, or even Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. You know, those have got. You've got morbid interest in those sort of fights. I've got no morbid interest in watching Pacquiao Mayweather. So the first fight weren't all that. And that happened 5 years too late, 10 years ago. So this is 15 years too late, and the first fight 10 years ago weren't much good either. I promoted Mayweather's fight afterwards against Berto. A fantastic fight, great fight, good fight. One of Mayweather's most exciting fights. But the Pacquiao fight was, I don't know, it's like, remember Pacquiao claimed afterwards he had a shoulder injury, then there were lawsuits from betting companies and people who put bets down. Man, it's like, I don't know. Leaves a, I don't know. I'll watch it. I guess it's free, isn't it? It's on Netflix. I pay them every month as well, along with all the others. So I'll watch it. But I don't know.
More big news, obviously, from the week, Conor Benn. Yeah, you said earlier you haven't really tuned into a lot of it, but I guess as a promoter, should he have expected that loyalty from Conor overall after all that time that he's been with them, and obviously yourself around the Eubank fight, sticking with him all that time?
I think the loyalty's in that he sort of came back with a matching clause and didn't, that's what they agreed. So there isn't they haven't been wronged. They've just, sort of. Yeah, I don't know. Is it really that? I look at it and I've done a few interviews now, and now I'm starting to think: is it really that interesting? I mean, I get it. I get that it's a big move from Zafar. It's almost like an advertising move, but it clearly wasn't business sense for Matchroom. Right? That's what it was. So you could talk about the loyalty and this year, and I get that for the fans. I've got to look at it a little bit from a business perspective. Matchroom had the offer. They looked at it and said, that's bad business, and said, no, thank you very much.
Should Conor have at least, I mean, people say there's no loyalty in boxing, but I guess as a promoter, if you've worked with a guy for a long time, would you expect at least a call to have a chat about everything and just see, is that fine line of loyalty in boxing?
I expect absolutely fuck all in boxing. And that's why I do all right mentally. I expect absolutely fuck all, right? I remember the first world champion who left me 15, 16 years ago. I had him, Marco Hook, I had him from like literally 18, 19 at schoolboy age, right? Turned him pro, 13 defences of the Cruiserweight World Championship, beat Johnny Nelson's record, and he left me. And he got Sparko in the next fight. Karma kills, baby.
Obviously coming into the heavyweight division, Tyson Fury returning. I guess what do you make of him against Makhmudov at the end of April?
Tyson's a showman. Well, he needs to get the cobwebs off. What happens after that fight's probably more interesting. No one really knows, and the fight they wanted to make for very serious personal reasons isn't taking place right now. So, I don't know what Tyson. I could see a third Usyk fight. I'd watch that. Good fight.
Yeah. Final one. Let's just finish it off. Give us a rundown of what's to come. Obviously on the zone and from yourselves, MF Pro. It's a big start to the year.
March 20th. We shouldn't be asking all these Conor Benn and
Michael Conlan.
Yeah. Michael Conlan, Mick Conlan. I was over there yesterday for a media day. I tell you something. Superstar doesn't do it justice. He's flying at the moment because he's on a roll. He's working with obviously with Grant, and it's a fantastic team up there. Really, really excited about it. He's got a tough challenge. Yeah, Kevin Walsh, 19-0. We'll be kicking off our new DAZN deal, MF Pro, from Belfast. Winner, probably Shushu Carrington at the Madison Square Garden. So that's the plan.
As always, Kalle, great to speak to you.